I'm very curious how the Giacomini plan, this new stunt that Andrew Giacomini is pulling to try and help the ranchers, I'm curious how that's going to work now that the ranchers have their guy back in the Oval Office because, Trump's big declaration is a mass deportation of documented and undocumented people, which of course are who the ranchers hire in order to increase their profit margin. And it's funny for Giacomini or any of these ranchers to pretend to care about these people. It was myself and others who exposed that they are targeting such people so that they can treat them badly because they don't really have any room to complain about their treatment. And everything that I exposed ended up being true. And there's been no punishment, of course, for the ranchers. There never is. If you don't know who the Giacomini's are, they're an extremely wealthy ranch family, basically a empire across Marin County and other areas. A quick taste of the Giacomini's you will see when you're driving down Sir Francis Drake Boulevard. Before you go out to the park on the right, there's the Giacomini wetlands, in which all the damage done by the Giacomini's was undone by purchasing that land and restoring it to what it was supposed to be, a healthy living ecosystem. Now, all you have to do is pan your eyes upward to the other shore, and you'll see death again. And that's where Giacomini's are still operating. That's what the Giacomini's have done. And, the Giacomini's made their fortune by raping the earth and raping the local taxpayer and raping the taxpayer on a national level. Let's see, so they came in like the other ranchers, grabbed up land, consumed the natural resources, destroyed healthy living ecosystems, and then got government subsidies on top of that. And then actually the Army Corps helped Giacomini with the dairy in the Giacomini wetlands in order to produce more milk during the war. And then after that, making money off of destroying the planet for several more years. Then the government came through and gave them money to give up that land. And they complained the whole way. Hey, here, keep taking money and complain on your way out. We'll name the place that's now going to be beautiful after you, despite the fact that you are responsible for it being hideous and unhealthy. And by the way, you get to keep all your other lands in which the taxpayers, through Measure A and on federal subsidy levels, will continue to give you some extra. All while you get to pretend to be a struggling, hardworking American. So it's going to be interesting how all of these undocumented workers that now Giacomini, took an interesting twist and came forward and talked about all the undocumented workers on these ranches. Now, your president, Trump, has said that these people are the enemy within, that they are destroying the country. Why are you hiring people that your president says is the enemy within? It seems very un-American of you, not very patriotic of you, to actually be giving employment to these people who are ripping the country apart. What's wrong with you? But of course, the ranchers' undocumented workers will not be deported. It's all about money. It's all about the rich being richer. So whatever benefits them. Did you guys see Food Inc. when the FBI went and raided this farmland and deported the undocumented workers that were there, but left the guy who owned the farm alone? That just doesn't make any sense to me. How do you expect anything to improve when the people who are actually responsible for the problem go unpunished. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't give a crap what ethnicity any of these workers are. They could be from another planet. The bottom line is that they're exploited to increase profit margins for the same disgusting people who claim to be patriotic by saying we need to get rid of those people. You'd say they're from Mars, and that still applies. Oh, God, these foreigners are destroying the country. But let me hire a few of them for myself. How are they even getting away with that, by the way? How is it possible? I'm guessing, like Trump, they cheat on their taxes. A lot of stuff's not getting reported. You Marin County folk pretending to care about these people, it's just mind-blowing. You know, when I did my work, I did it in order to actually help those people because they were sick of how they were being treated by the very same ranchers who are now pretending to be on their side. Believe me when I say this is only because they found a way for it to benefit themselves. Now, how about McClure? What was that, 2020, 2021? When he pretended to shut down his ranch inside of Point Reyes, the very first thing he did was kick out the people that needed a place to live. Kick out all of his exploited minority laborers. Very first thing he did. Guess what? It's almost 2025 and McClure is still there. What was the big rush? What was the big rush, McClure? People living on land that we, the taxpayers, are paying for? We're paying McClure's rent to have a private profit business in the national seashore. I mean, it's so heavily subsidized, and the rent rate is so ridiculously low. He's basically there for free, raping the land for free. And the first thing he did was evict those very same people that these ranchers pretend to care about. I think I had just finished interviewing the Mendoza ex-employees that told me how horrific the conditions were working for the Mendoza family. And they were, you know, they knew the people at McClure, and they were afraid. And they were afraid for them. Nobody knew where they were going to go. Clearly, McClure didn't care where they had to go. First thing he did was boot them. To this day, the Point Reyes Light has not retracted their false statements about McClure shutting down. And how sad it was. I saw McClure's quote. There's a whole world out there, and I want to go see what it is. 5 years ago. He hasn't left. What a load of shit. These people lie like they breathe oxygen. Patriots. The morality, the fake morality of Trumpsters and the whole abortion issue. Listen, if somebody needs an abortion, whatever morality you're hoping exists, you lost that battle a long time ago. But the real problem is with women who have been raped and want an abortion, the rapist was a Trumpster. So there's where the core of the problem is. I mean, look at Trump. Good God. Talk about objectifying women. If ever there was a guy who roofied a woman and raped her, there you go. Well, when things become immoral is when the woman doesn't want a rapist baby inside of her. It's like Trump building the wall because a corroded society can't make personal decisions about abusing drugs. Why don't you just build a wall in kitchens of obese diabetics between the snack cabinet and the rest of the house? Because people can't be held responsible for their own decisions. He's a good person for building the wall. The problem already exists. People haven't been raised properly for a very long time on either side. But let's pretend that we're moral by acting like you care about unborn babies. Like, you people don't care about life in general. You care about money. Stop it. Everything about Trump is the opposite of what Jesus preaches in the Bible. The opposite. The opposite. Anyway, congratulations, Marin County. You have an obese, makeup-wearing Hitler in office. How are you guys going to talk about wokeness and being worried about trans issues? Look who you're voting for. That guy wore more makeup than the female that he was running against. That guy whines more than a spoiled brat. He is a spoiled brat. What am I talking about? So watch closely. Obviously, Trumpty Dumpty is good friends with these ranchers, these monsters, these millionaires in Marin County. So Trump's plan will not apply to their employees.